You just heard your own voice on a recording. You cringed instantly. Somewhere deep in your chest, a small voice said, "That doesn't sound like me." Here's the strange part. It's the only version of your voice everyone else has ever heard. Why does the truest recording of you feel like the fakest one? Blame your skull. When you speak, sound travels to your ears two different ways at once. Some of it moves through the air, the same way it reaches anyone listening to you. But some of it travels straight through the bones of your skull, and bone conducts low frequencies far better than air does. George von Becquerel, the physiologist who won a Nobel Prize for mapping exactly how the ear processes sound, showed that this bone-conducted path adds a richer, deeper layer no one else can hear. You've never once heard your actual voice the way the world hears it. You've only heard the version with a built-in bass boost. So a recording doesn't distort your voice. It removes a distortion you didn't know you had. Do you see why that hits so hard? In 1966, two researchers named Phil Halsman and Clyde Rousey ran an experiment that gave this reaction its own name. They played people recordings of their own voices and watched real distress show up, not mild surprise, but genuine discomfort, sometimes even people insisting the recording had to be broken. Halsman and Rousey called it voice confrontation, and they found something telling underneath it. The discomfort wasn't really about sound quality. It was about identity. The voice in the recording felt like evidence of a self you hadn't agreed to. There's a second reason this feels so uncomfortable, and it has nothing to do with your ears at all. Psychologist Robert Zajonc discovered something in 1968 now called the mere exposure effect. The more familiar something feels, the more we like it, almost regardless of quality. You've heard your bone-conducted voice every single day of your life. It's deeply familiar, which makes it feel not just normal, but correct. The recorded version is technically more accurate, and also completely unfamiliar, which your brain reads as somehow wrong, the same way a mirror-flipped photo of your own face can look subtly off to you, while looking perfectly normal to everyone else. So the cringe isn't vanity. It's two ordinary systems colliding. A skull that's been quietly editing your voice for your entire life, and a brain that mistakes familiarity for truth. Here's what's actually worth remembering the next time you hear yourself played back and want to disappear. That voice isn't a flaw revealed. It's simply the one honest recording in a lifetime of edited ones, and everyone else has already decided it sounds like you perfectly fine.